love warriors? Welcome to the Where's the Love podcast. I'm your favorite millennial hippie, Kloii Hummingbird. I'm a multidisciplinary artist, activist, and certified yoga teacher. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube, honey, to like and subscribe so you can watch along with me. Or if you are listening on Apple or Spotify, make sure you listen along with the non-video version, but like and subscribe nonetheless. Follow me, baby, so you can get more updates on Where's the Love. And when I say Where's the Love, sometimes I'll be like, hey, the love is right there. Sometimes you will help me find the love, baby, because sometimes the day ain't gonna be the day. This podcast will bring you everything from politics, pop culture, and my personal opinion, okay? This podcast is also called Where's the Love because, like I said, I am a yoga teacher, and my goal in life is to tap into the realities of the world, not the way I want them to be, but as it really is, because we can only create true change when we look at the thing head on and call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things happening in the world today, and after a decade of activism, after doing the marches and the protests and signing the petitions and doing all the things, this is just yet again one of many things that I'm doing to be the change that I want to see in the world. I am doing my best to blend entertainment and education together, use my communication and fine arts degree from Loyola Marymount University to good use, you know what I'm saying, up in here. So this is my contribution to society, giving you information that you may not know about activism, the state of the world, boycotting, what companies are poisoning you, and hey, I said where's the love, baby, so I will also be talking about all of my favorite reality dating TV shows. So this is your place for you to, keep it real and to bask in the realities of humanity, okay? In all facets of the word. This really should be called Where's the Humanity or Who's the Humanity? But it's Where's the Love, baby, because love, empathy, and standing in community is so much of what life's about, if you ask me. But hey, I'm a yoga teacher. What do I know? And if I'm keeping it all the way real right now, my mother died 6 months ago, and I've completely gone insane. But if it weren't for that, honestly, I'd already be insane because there's a genocide in Palestine happening, and I'm seeing dead babies pop up on my phone every day, left and right and left, and I don't even know which direction is up anymore because I'm insane. I am with the insane, and I just can't shut up. I have to be a part of the yappers who are yapping and doing anything in my power, because we have come to a point in reality where community is going to be real inconvenient. And that's going to be super hard for a lot of people to understand. I mean, are we ready to hide our neighbors in our attics? Are we ready to let that extra child live with us? I mean, this is just so much of what the world is calling us for, like radical community. And I can't even say it's a scary time to live in because, yes, although it is, I think ignorance is just bliss in so many ways. Things have been dire for so long, and so many of us were either indoctrinated out of understanding or forced to have lack of education via lack of resources, or a combination of both that we did not understand. But the ones who are slowly waking up, welcome to the revolution, welcome to the resistance, welcome to the love cause. And love is gonna have to look like a lot of many things moving forward, and that is dependent on who we are as individuals. There's a lot of shadowy places in the world, and I guess a part of my why is, whilst being insane, standing in my true self, who is an artist, and to be a voice for the voiceless, to be a voice for the afraid. Because although I am afraid, I am privileged in the sense to be a yappity 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 yapper who is probably undiagnosed ADHD, if I'm keeping it real. I guess, in a sense, the freedom prayer could sum up my why for not only this podcast, but existence itself for me. And my Sanskrit is not the best. So, Loka Samasta Sukhi no Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere, including myself, be happy and be free from suffering. May the thoughts, words, and actions of my character in some way contribute to that happiness and to that freedom for all beings. I say that at the end of all of my yoga classes for so many years, and it will never not ring true. Whoever spit those ancient words out, they were onto something. They were onto something. Put in other words for my why. It's like the late great James Baldwin said, if I love you, I have to make you conscious of the things you don't see. And boy, is that my love language. If somebody ain't ready for elevation, they probably not ready to be up in my life. Not ready to be a partner, because those are the only kind of humans I want near me who are ready to speak on that elevation of the heart, of the conscious mind, and of humanity itself. Without further ado, ladies and gents and everything in between, this is Where's the Love podcast. Before we continue, let's do a check-in wherever you are. If you're able to, come to the edge of your seat, close your eyes, and sit nice and tall. Your spine will thank you later. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your nose and just feel. Tune in with yourself. We always talk about self-awareness. In order to be aware of yourself, we have to take those moments to tune in and be aware. Right now, I notice for me, I'm feeling a little bit anxious, a little bit, because this is my very first podcast episode, and maybe I have a little bit of imposter syndrome, like, what if people don't like me, or maybe I don't articulate myself well, or what if I'm just, go in circles and say my point like 3 times and just keep yapping. Like, I need to shut myself up at some point, you know what I mean? And I think just saying that and acknowledging how I feel out loud is helping me a bit. So yeah, that's nice. Let's take 2 more breaths here together just because it feels so good. Inhale. Gentle exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, let it go. Whatever it is, whatever you're holding on to, you don't need it. Let it go. So this is a segment I like to call This and That, where I talk about a little bit of this and I talk about a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, the D'Angelo is no longer with us. D'Angelo, baby, that D'Angelo. But with all seriousness, the D'Angelo, the amazing, some would call him funk, some would call him neo soul, some would call him R&B, or anything in between. But he is self-proclaimed as a black music artist who makes black music, known for his amazing albums Brown Sugar, Voodoo, and The Black Messiah. He is a multi-instrumentalist. He plays guitar, piano, and more. You know, this situation actually reminds me of Chadwick Boseman a little bit, because D'Angelo died from a private battle with prostate cancer, and Chadwick's battle was also super private. The public had no idea. I'm sure the executives and higher ups who he was working with knew, but not the rest of us. And it's really a shock to funk lovers, music lovers, the black community, because can we stop losing our motherfucking greats so motherfucking early? You know what I'm saying? It's really sad, and there's a lot of reasons for that. You know, the black community, we have a huge distrust of doctors, and that's rightfully so, because black people literally have been experimented on via the American government. Literally freaking did multiple surgeries on black women without anesthesia, and obviously without consent, and just stemming from that, as well as lack of access to medical care. And also, you know, Jesus, the black community is just so much on Jesus, that Jesus will heal everything. And Jesus was a person that died a long time ago. So I don't know why they think Jesus and God are the same. We're not gonna go there. I just think Jesus was godly. But anyway, clearly I am not religious. I believe in God, but I ain't of the religious variety. But that is a conversation for another time. Okay. Anyway, in conclusion, I blame racism. I think all roads lead back to racism. Prove me different, because I have not yet. Honestly, every day I get more astounded that things are so racist, and the world everything keeps leading back to racism. I'm just like, really? Okay. Woo, everything. Okay. Anyway, in conclusion, the world needs to change and open up and be more loving, so everybody can stop dying and everybody can be more happy in utopia. And anyway, lastly, for this in that chickadee chat, Cardi B released a new album this month, and honestly, I have just been so career focused and just in a haze since my mom died that I have not listened to much music, and it feels like in a couple years. But this album has been the first album in a long time to like make me feel something. And maybe it's because like how open and authentic Cardi is, that even if you're not like a hardcore fan, you're just like a peripheral fan, and it just made knowing about everything she's going on in her life, the music, even more rich. It made me think like, oh my God, like I absolutely need to hear this album. Like, what is she going through with this divorce, with her new relationship? I think having that connection to artists makes things just like so much richer, and that also makes me feel the need even more to divest from artists who aren't speaking up about everything in the world, and or who are like the antithesis of that, of just like completely being the problem and being supporters or working with the problem. Names shall not be named right now, but they will be on another podcast. Stay tuned. But that is all for today's This in That little chit chat. Let's get into the main chickadee chat of the day. Okay, we will be talking about Love is Blind, episode 1 and 2. I know it's a little bit late, but when it's coming out, but we're gonna go through all the episodes. If you down for the ride, you're gonna be down for the ride, okay? Again, episodes 1 and 2 of this season of Love is Blind, located in Denver, Colorado. First, we have to talk about, in our main chickadee chat, Assata Shakur. On September 25th, 2025, last month at this time that I'm recording this podcast, around 1 p.m., Assata Shakur died. And if you aren't aware of who she is, she was a revolutionary, a true American hero, a Black American woman who was exiled and found exile in Cuba. She was falsely accused of killing a police officer during a shootout in 1973. It was in Jersey, and it was found by doctors that she could not have possibly been the person to shoot and kill this cop because she herself was shot at the time. So she had multiple injuries that she just sustained, and because of those injuries, it was just not plausible that she could hold a rifle up at that angle and harm that police officer. Although the all-white jury did not care, she was put in an all-male prison, and then, like the baddie she is, broke out. She was a Black Panther, and seeing all the members of the Black Panther parties annihilated by COINTELPRO, aka the American government, she joined the Black Liberation Army and stood with resistance armed for the Black American people. The Black Liberation Army stood in solidarity with other liberation movements that were not Black all around the world because they believe that our struggle is intertwined with other struggles. What's happening in Congo is definitely intertwined with what's happening in Palestine and so forth. So she is a true hero. The very first book recommendation, write it down, is Assata. It is her autobiography of the tale, and it's amazing. I have read excerpts, and she's amazing, and I cannot wait to get my hands on a copy. Maybe it'll be the first edition of a potential book club for us. Hey, shooting for the future with us, friends. Let's go, Love Warriors. Assata in 2005 did try to file for clemency via the New York City Council, but it did not pass. So she spent about 4 decades on the run from America. She was the very first woman to be put on the FBI's most wanted list. And I think that's so funny, on the list, being a model, a fashion girly. I can't help but say, they said to be found in Muslim or men's clothing. I'm like, honestly, she was just hippie chic. You know what I'm saying? Like, men's clothing, like, they were hating. But hey, maybe they saw some pictures that I didn't see, because every time I see Miss Assata on video or photo, she's fly. You know what I'm saying? But maybe they mean that she was not, acquiescing to the standard garb of the time, which, what women, they think women wear, just booty shorts and dresses. I guess she wasn't like popping it low, so they equated that to men's clothing. I mean, come on, she was just a little hippie. What you mean? The real hippies be messing stuff up. Okay. But her and the Black Liberation Army, they were all about community, anti-imperialist group, anti-capitalist group, and rest in peace, Assata. You will always be remembered, and we should definitely use her writings, her art, her poetry, and lived experience as a blueprint on combating imperialism. One of many blueprints I think that we should, and we would be very smart to follow. We love you, Assata. Assata. As she once said, only the strong go crazy. The weak just go along. Ain't that the truth? Because I have gone insane. Anyway, we will finish up here, friends, talking about Love is Blind. Now, on a completely separate, different note, child. Okay, Where's the Love is talking about Love is Blind now. Completely doop. Love comes in many forms. Sometimes it's gonna be a little pop culture. Sometimes it's gonna be a little politics. Sometimes I say it's gonna be my personal opinion. And we just did all three in this. Now let's talk about my opinion on Love is Blind. Okay, this is covering episodes 1 and recapping episode 2 as well. Ooh, chat. Okay, episode 1, we get to meet all our lovely singles, and Madison really stood out to me.
I have a blinding eye condition, and there's a good chance that I'm going to go blind.
The eye condition I think she has is an eye condition that a guy named Danicorn I used to like. He had this eye condition where it's like, as you get older, your eyesight gets progressively worse, which sounds like normal, right? You're getting older, your eyesight's worse, but in actuality, what's happening is like you can't see. Like I could be literally standing like we're right here, like waving to him, and he will not be able to see unless I actually look over. And for those people who are just listening and not watching YouTube, come on, click and subscribe already so you can watch, you know what the heck I'm talking about. And so it's actually really finicky. Like he couldn't see here. You have to be like really directly looking at him. He is technically legally blind, described like he can't drive anymore. He lost his driving privileges, but he like still gets around functioning. I just told him to get shin guards. He fine. And yeah, so that's what Madison made me think of. And Edmund stuck out in my mind for many reasons, Joe, which we will get into. But Edmund
in the foster care system all my life, so this is my chance to like build that with someone. Yeah, have like kids and like day one and stay with a family compared to like all my life.
Is he grew up in the foster care system, and I also grew up in foster care, and so I was like, oh, cute little potential foster care brother. Oh, I just heard my boyfriend come home. Also, Patrick is somebody that super stands out to me for a lot of reasons. It was not fun listening to him describe his experience as an Asian man and growing up in a predominantly white area.
In the past was being an Asian American man in a predominantly Caucasian area. Only Asian kid in class, only Asian friend in the friend group.
Like, I can remember being like 13 or something in junior high. I went to like a predominantly white area for like a semester, and it was just a culture shock of like everybody staring at you like you're other, like looking at you all the time like you're an alien, but like also whilst they're afraid of the alien, like won't come up and talk and approach because they think they're better or something. Like, racism is doing a number on the children, on the youth of the world, y'all. So growing up, that was like a lot for him. He described people saying like, oh, you know, like you're hot for an Asian guy. And as black people, we get that, you know, oh, you're pretty for a black girl, like that saying. And oh, like, what are you mixed with? You can't just be black because you're so beautiful. Like, so I super resonate with those things. And just get out of Denver, bro. I mean, what is keeping him there? I mean, where's the love? Maybe I should feel more compassionate, but I think he had a pretty nice finance job. I think I'm right, but if I'm wrong, I'll put it up on the screen here to clarify. So I feel like he has the money. Maybe it is that nice job that's keeping him there. Like, why can't he do the same thing elsewhere? Because as a person of color, literally being in a place, you can be like a 12 out of 12, 12 out of, you know, you could be the flyest of the fly, but if you're in a predominantly white area, they have a way of making you feel like you look like a boo-boo the fool in a sense. And unfortunately, that is not what he's experienced for a semester. That's what he's experienced his whole life. And because of that, he also has this Asian hate, like this Asian hate going on within him, because he's probably been indoctrinated to think less of himself because of how others view him, which instead I feel like, brother, rise up and let them meet you where you are. Don't stoop down and have these posers, these losers, these lost souls drag you down, which I know is easier said than done when like he's literally the minority, probably like the one of few. Anna is probably the only other Asian person in freaking Denver for all I know. So I can see how it's really hard. But Mike is Asian too, and he didn't really speak on that. But maybe Mike looks a little like, to me, Mike looks as Asian as Patrick. They're both handsome men as far as I'm concerned. And I got some high hopes for Anna and him, for Anna and Patrick. I don't like Mike, but we'll get there. I swear to God, Anton and Allie, did they break the record for like the quickest couple getting engaged? Is it just me? Maybe it's been a long time since I've seen Love is Blind. Maybe it's been a few months. I feel like episode 2, they normally start getting engaged. Like 2 and 3, and episode 1 engagement is crazy to me.
Oh my God.
Your hair.
You like it or no?
I love it.
She's fucking stunning. It was shocking. It was shocking how good looking she was.
Anton, a love bomber. It's so hard to throw that word around after the love bombing fiasco of Love Island, where there was like, was Jeremiah love bombing, or did he just like her? You know what I mean? I don't believe Anton. I don't believe his intentions. It was just so fast. Like, I love you already. Like, I don't know, maybe it was the editing. I wish there was some season of Love is Blind. I don't remember, was it UK, where they like let us know the day that they're on, and I love that. Let me know like day 10 out of 12. Again, I'm not 10 out of 12. Like, let me know what's going on, because it's not enough. It's not enough information for me to discern what is going on. It's just not. And that's my very bad accent, y'all, okay?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Actually, you know what? I do have one thing. I have something called retinitis pigmentosa, which is a degenerative like eye condition.
So Madison tells Joe about her eye condition.
The amount of times I've had people be like trying to give me like a high five or something, and I'll like miss it.
Oh, no.
It can lead to blindness.
And Joe, you can tell he was like not ready for that, because that reaction was like, oh, how do I take this information in? But I also feel like Madison did a really good job of explaining what the condition is. Like, yo, this is what it is. Like, you know, it very much felt like a no pressure situation, but just so you know, this is the potential of what could happen to me. And it's really hard to give people that type of information, no matter what kind of condition you have, whether it's HIV, whether it's an eye condition, or freaking terminal cancer, you know, whatever stage of life you're in. Everybody has something that they're afraid and feel vulnerable to tell the other person. So I think it was really mature how she just kind of came out and said it. And I think his response is really mature, but clearly, if she was like right in front of him, I think she probably would have been a little, I say clearly, that's the wrong word to use, but I think she potentially would have been really freaked out by his reaction, just given his body language alone. Anna is dating Blake and Patrick. And Patrick and Blake, honey, both say that Anna is their tickety top connection, which I love, because there has not been a lot of Asian representation on Love is Blind, and that goes for all of the seasons. The only Asian people I can remember being on the show are the two Indian people from a couple seasons ago, and I just think it's awesome that she's thick too, she's funny, she's charismatic, and she's beautiful, and she's Asian. I'm like, okay, yes, win, win, win.
Megan has been great.
Oh my God.
Hi, this is Blake. But Anna feels like my top connection right now.
And she's awesome, and I'm super happy that like the Asian girl is, you know, getting all the lovies up in here. And the Asian people are always so interesting, because like, colorism and racism is doing a number on y'all, child, on all of us, but it's just so blatant and in our face with the Asian community. You know, Anna straight off told Blake, like, yeah, I've never dated another Asian person, and Anna told Patrick that, and Patrick basically told in the same thing, like, I've never dated an Asian person.
Patrick and I put context clues together about what we might look like. I think we understand we're both Asian.
So these are two Asian people who have never dated Asian people, and granted, they live in Denver, Colorado, but I mean, if you're looking, there's a community for it. I mean, I know I'm in mostly predominantly white spaces, so I've dated a lot of white men, but that's not to say I've never dated a black man before. I think that's just, I think people who aren't them, but just speaking to the wider aspect of that self-hatred, I think it's imperative as we get older that we do that inner work to love ourselves and heal ourselves, especially if we're trying to have biological children, but especially if we're just trying to be in the world at large, just healing for ourselves so we can feel better in the world and show up proud in who we are and all our blackness or Asianness or whatever it is that makes us who we are. And so that's clearly some work that Anna and Patrick and a lot of us in the world need to harness that work so we can harness our power. I'm kind of blending episode 1 and 2 a little bit together, but I believe it's episode 2 at this point. And Love is Blind is a show. I feel like of all the reality dating shows, I could go on this one because all the other ones are frankly trash. I'm a sapiosexual, or like I just want to understand who you are as a person before I'm near you in a sense. So it's because of that, like, you don't know races, you don't know heights or any of that, and I think that's so beautiful. You don't know if someone's bald or whatever, but we always get a couple or two who ends up sort of breaking the rules.
I grew up Mormon and we're a white family.
There's no linear rules, you know what I mean? You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do, or if you want to talk about all the things, sure, these are sort of guidelines of how Love is Blind should go if you want to do the experiment accordingly, like correctly. However, there's a lot of people who do not follow these guidelines. Casey and Patrick are a prime example of how to do Love is Blind.
Do you think I should share it with you?
Yeah, I think you should.
Like my ethnicity?
Mm-hmm.
Incorrectly in that regard. Casey, really starts to ask Patrick again, like, just tell me your ethnicity. And I feel like if you come to Love is Blind, why do you care? Like, go on a different show. But I believe we know that she got the opportunity to go on a different show or something. And then now they just ended up putting her on Love is Blind. And her boyfriend's like, this woman came in with a whole ass boyfriend, apparently. According to the streets, though, that's not on the show. This boyfriend that she talks about this guy came on the internet and he was like, I'm basically her ex-boyfriend, y'all. How embarrassing. And honestly, I'm not even her ex. We were just a little situationship type thing. I literally live in like another state. I gagged when I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, died of embarrassment. I mean, the man was clearly hesitant, clearly uncomfortable, clearly did not want to talk about it. He even said, like, let me think about this for a moment. He ended up acquiescing to her and letting her know that he is half Chinese and half Cambodian. He didn't tell her that he's super tall or any of that. And she goes on to say that, like, oh, her whole family dates Asians and others, so it should be fine. And I think the fact that she even had to quantify that, like, oh, you people are okay with me, was just like very, very strange, because she's mentioned she's Mormon and she knows that honestly, I don't even know if on the show or online, I'm getting my TikTok info mixed in with my info from show. So sorry. But yes, this is very, very awkward for him. And again, I gagged when her boyfriend, her situationship online said that they was just a situationship. So funny. Okay, let's talk about Sparkle Megan, honey. So Sparkle Megan, everybody online is like, that's corny, that's cheesy. I'm all about branding, baby. All right. Her and Mike do have clear chemistry, and Mike is a cutie patootie. I think they'd be okay together. But like Megan said, she's looking for something like different. She's dated guys like Mike before, and so I don't really think that she's interested in doing the things that she's done before in the past. But she does strike me as somebody who's like wants to be like walk into the room power couple vibes, because who else in the world would call themselves Sparkle Megan if they did not want that. Mike is cute, but he gives me the ick. He gives me very like ego driven, very much all about himself, and that he will not keep his heart on his sleeve. It will be very guarded and like a tough nut to crack. And who's got time for that, honey? And so that is Sparkle Megan, but I think she's also feeling Jordan, and I like Jordan more than Mike. So Sparkle Megan got options, honey. Okay, her and Jordan are also vibing. Jordan is tall, has tattoos. I think he is taller than Mike or just as tall as Mike, and but they are in a different tax bracket. So do you want the douchey, egotistical guy, but he got a lot of money, or do you want the guy who has a kid, don't got a lot of money, but he's emotionally available and got a heart of gold? I mean, we'll see what she picks, y'all. I know which one I'd pick. What would you pick? Drop it in the comments. Kids, though, whew. But she is down for the kitties because his son, Luca, I believe his name is, has diabetes. He's like a 5-year-old, and her father actually, I believe, died from diabetes. So trauma bond or deep connection? Stay tuned. So KB is a social worker, and she's bonding with Edmund, who I believe is a school teacher who honestly behaves like he's the same age as the children, but hey, you got a job that works for him. A lot of people online are speculating that he may have stunted growth or some type of mental health issues. I will not speculate which disorder he may or may not have, but there is certainly some intricacies going on with his behavior patterns and his personality. He was very vulnerable with her, which I don't hold against him, talking about what he's been through with his life, with his parents, growing up in foster care, and that makes her feel very bonded to him. But again, hashtag trauma bond or hashtag actual deep trusted connecting and connection and bonding. Oh, y'all, remember when I said Sparkle Megan got options? Okay, she got options. Blake is a handsome fella, and Blake, remember I said Blake, he likes Anna, and he likes Sparkle Megan, even though Anna is his number one, but Sparkle Megan don't know that right now. She don't need to know that because I believe it's day one. I will keep saying it's day one until they give us freaking numbers. And she thinks that her and Jordan have a great time together, but the tax bracket thing may become an issue for them, especially if it's a man. If it was reversed and the woman did less money, but men get really weird when they are making as much money, and maybe women, let's be honest, get a little bit resentful in this new stage of the world where women actually have as much rights as men. Things are a little bit different, and we're kind of calibrating what we want in ourselves, what we want and need in a partner. So I think Megan's sort of on that choo-choo train. And honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, I am underwhelmed so far with the couples that I have here. I am. I don't think that Ali and Anton they don't give me nothing. I'm like, what deep talks that they have, what bonding talks that they have. I didn't really feel anything that connected them. But hey, it's editing, baby. I could have missed something that they didn't give us, But they met, and it was cute. He was very attracted to her. And so vice versa. He had some glasses on, and he was squinting. I don't put the glasses on, honey. Some girls like glasses, Nick likes Annie, the hairdresser. And he is basically making Anna feel like he's the only girl she's dating. The internet believes Nick is gay. And I'm just going to leave that right there. Nick tells Annie that she's the one, and she's like, O to the M to the G. I don't really feel like I saw much of their connection. And yeah, Annie basically tells us that she got out of an 8-year relationship, and that he left her after her mom died. Men are usually the ones who leave their female partners after great tragedy. That is something that is well known within the heterosexual community, unfortunately. Nick and Annie's like, I'm gonna get married. She seems like very eager to get married. I don't know if she cares who she leaving with, but she gonna want to leave with a ring on her finger. She has a connection with Nick and Brendan. Brendan says that Annie is his top choice and he wants a piece of that pie. And I'm like, okay. One of the reasons why people think that Edmund may have some mental health issues of sorts is because of one of the next scenes that happens. He is kissing the floor, which is not something that humans usually do. And not like, oh, I'm so happy to be on Earth. I'm so happy to get out of jail. I've been locked up. I'm out, all that stuff. But it was more so, he said, I just want to kiss somebody. And so he's kissing the floor. And that's just relaying what happened. After that, Edmund and KB are talking about who are only Black couple individually and together, I believe, in the entire show, if I'm remembering correctly. So they both sort of trauma bond, it kind of looks like, over the fact that their parents both were absent. Edmund talks about his father and his mother not really being there for him, so he was in and out of foster care, and that he's healed from that because he knows that despite all that, his parents still love him despite the things that they needed to go through financially and individually. And KB says about her father that he was absent and that she struggles with that because for her, she doesn't know, like, do you ever love me? And they got real. But are we bonding or are we trauma bonding? It's questionable to that. And yes, she's in social work, but whether you're in that or not, when we're just living our lives, we're not necessarily pinpointing the moments when we may be trauma bonding with another person, so that's something to keep in mind, because I have seen some harsh critique about KB out there for being infatuated with Edmund, but there's a lot of things that we see that she does not see. So that's something to think about. I don't know, guys. It's so funny because Anna is like my favorite person on the show, and I like that she's exploring things with Patrick, but I really like her and Blake. They got this s'mores camping date, which is so cute. He's rocking the plaid, mountain man, you know what I mean? She's trying to get her Colorado mountain man. I feel like he's missing a beard. Is it just me? So Patrick has a date now with Casey, this trifecta of I'm dating these two people, but this is my top. Another person's like, oh, I'm dating this, but this other person's my top. It's just so fucking funny. The editing is great. Then Anna and Patrick have a date. Anna talks about how much she misses her family. They basically tell each other that Anna's like, I'm more attracted to you because you're Asian. And Patrick's like, yeah, same. Which is so interesting, like a revelation. Two Asian people could be attracted to each other. Obviously, there may be, some things you guys have in common. We have our next engagement, baby. Joe and Madison get engaged. He drops it on the knee. She says, yes. And then, y'all, finally, the episode ends. Patrick is telling us, to the audience, Anna's my number one. I'm thinking he gonna get down on one knee. He gonna lock it in. It's gonna be what it is. And then freaking he goes into the room, into the pods. Hello? Expecting Anna ass to be on the other side, and the ass ain't in the couch. Before you get the chance, Where is she? And that is how the episode ends. My takeaways are, maybe Anna been telling us that she like Blake, so maybe she over there with Blickety Blake. And then Edmund and KB, I don't think they're one. Allie and Anton, I know they had a good meeting, but I don't feel it. just so shallow. Like, where was it? I feel like maybe it was the editing. They didn't give us the deeper conversation. Were they just going off of the vibes? Like, because I didn't feel the vibes. I don't know. They're each individually very attractive though. And that's my takeaways there. That's what I got. We got some engagements. We got some I see you and I like the way you look. I love reality dating TV shows because it's just like an anthropological freaking study in humanity. Like, what's the dating scene? What are the racial connections, the racial divides? What are the different age rangings, thinking, talking, expressing themselves? It's so exciting. I just started watching Love Island, the season that came out this year, but then this year I also watched season 6, and I watch every season of Love is Blind USA. Stay tuned, and I have yoga classes on YouTube. Tune in next time for my recap of Love is Blind episode 3 and 4. Also, we'll be talking about nice and light things like, did you guys know there was a flooding in Alaska right now and the Voting Rights Act being gutted? What? To tune in, like, and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. Till next time, peace.